Digit, you German bastard. How you doing, bro?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. How you doing?
Nice, good. This time without any delays. That's good.
Digit, what is your question, bro?
Since we are all about dragons again now, I've been having like serious thoughts about the dragons, not just the dragon aspects, but the primalist dragons, since they are different to the aspects. What happens if a primalist dragon now gets absorbed the void potency fully pledged? How insane would he become?
Are you asking if a Primal Incarnate absorbed void potency, how powerful would they become?
Yeah, it's a power level question, yeah.
Okay, so it depends on which theory we're going to go with, because obviously we don't know much yet. We have to rely a lot on headcanon here, so I do apologize ahead of time for anyone that hates headcanon.
No problem.
I don't know why they would be in this channel even, but, you know, never mind. So from a headcanon perspective, the way that I look at it, because if you watch that cinematic again, when Rathian says to Raszageth that I had hoped to become more, to become what he was meant to be, Raszageth almost feels insulted by the idea that an aspect could ever become what a dragon is meant to be. So in other words, it's as if for Raszageth and for the other Primal Incarnates, the aspects, the creation of the aspects, limited what dragons were meant to be. It made them weaker. It didn't make them stronger, in her opinion. Now, from this, all we have to do is go back to Galakrond to realize that Proto Drakes, and we would talk about in this instance unaspected Proto Drakes. So the same way that you get Chaos Undivided in Warhammer 40k, unaspected Proto Drakes, so they are limitless in how much power they can accrue. Galakrond was so powerful that it took all 5 of the would-be dragon aspects plus a Titan Keeper, and the only way they could kill him was to make him choke on a rock. They couldn't even kill him. They effectively just shoved a giant rock down his throat and watched him choke on it. Because otherwise they would have all died there. Galakrond would have killed all of them. So this suggests that the Primal Incarnates do not even need to absorb void magic. They have an unlimited source of magic from the elemental magic. So here we have to go a little bit towards the cosmological map. If you look at the cosmological map, you have the 6 cosmological forces, right? Those are sort of, according to Steve Denuser at least, that's the high magic of the universe. So you have life, death, order, disorder, void, and light. Those are the 6 forces. But then you have what is considered to be the elemental forces of Azeroth. And this is supposed to be the primal magics of our universe. So this is the origins of it. All of the cosmological forces, they were created from the primal magics of Azeroth, so to speak, or of the Great Beyond. So the primal magics of the Great Beyond is most likely far more powerful than any of the other powers because they are primal. They're baked into everything we do, into everything we have. These primal forces and these primal elements are everywhere. So these dragons effectively have an unlimited supply of magic from which they can draw, you know, because their magic is ever renewed. It's a renewed magic form. So they can literally just keep drawing upon it, and they will just get infinitely more strong the longer they do it for. So this is where you sort of get to it's probably a time thing, so the longer they have to absorb these powers, the more powerful they can grow as a result of it. So I do think this might be our toughest challenge to date, is taking care of these Primal Incarnates. Because unlike any of the other foes that we have ever fought, we also don't even know necessarily what their grand plan is. Because all of the other forces of Azeroth that we have fought, all of the other foes, have always wanted to end Azeroth, right? That was sort of always the big sort of we're going to end Azeroth, and you know, that's cool and all. or they hate all the mortals, they want to kill everyone, that sort of thing. But here we have the Primal Incarnates, who, it doesn't appear as if that is their problem. Their problem is the traces of the Titans. That's what she says. We are going to wipe every trace of the Titans off of Azeroth. Now, in this, we might be in danger because, technically speaking, in a very roundabout way, we are a trace of the Titans, right? In a very roundabout way, but still, I think it is valid. But they don't seem to... Why didn't she kill the dragons? Why didn't she kill Rathian? She could have killed Rathian right there. She's much larger than him. One bite and Rathian was done. And yet she decided not to do so. Yeah, we also know that Alexstrasza seems to be very conflicted on that fight. Because when Rathian asked Alexstrasza, why did you not kill her? She couldn't. They were close. They were like clutch mates. They were friends. They simply rejected the gifts of the Titans. Now the question is, who did the right thing?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, we don't know. Well, did the Aspects make the right decision? Or was it the Primal Incarnates that made the right decision? I don't know. I don't know what that answer would be.
Yeah, well, we saw how the BFA Void Dragon was like, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Void Dragon, so... You see, the problem with like, Twilight Dragons, Void Dragons, those things, is... Dragons seems to be very adept at soaking up magic around them. So if there's enough void...
Yeah, that's what I also thought, yeah.
Yeah, they'll soak it up and they'll become that. Now, if a dragon were to soak up void, its power may almost inevitably become limited again, because is there an unlimited source of void for it to feed upon? Because there's a good chance that there isn't. There might be an unlimited amount of void, but there would have to be a void conduit of some sort for this dragon to actually feed upon. Now, this is where we may come into the Rift of Arm. The Rift of Arm was closed by Malfurion because even Malfurion went, fuck that. As soon as he came onto it, he was like, never mind. We're just gonna leave this. We're just gonna leave this here. Back away slowly. We pretend this doesn't exist. That could either be a source of void, or, and this was a question I got earlier today as well during the morning stream, it could be where Galakrond is. Galakrond, we know that most dragons go to the Emerald Dream upon death. It is possible that Galakrond lies within the Rift of Arm, and that the Primal Incarnates, their ultimate goal is to summon forth Galakrond, reborn and reinvigorated, because Galakrond was their sort of leader, quote unquote, before he died. So if Galakrond gets born again, we may be in some real trouble, because Galakrond has spent all of this time in the Rift of Arm being completely, shall we say, fueled by void, because the Rift of Arm is inside the Emerald Nightmare. So it is possible that Galakrond has just been consuming an immeasurable amount of void whilst under, inside the Rift of Arm. So yeah, we might be in some real trouble soon when it comes to Galakrond and the Primal Incarnates. Don't know. I genuinely don't know. That's my headcanon digit. I hope that answers that question for you.
Yeah, well.
I promise I will have more answers to that question as soon as the game comes out and I'm able to explore and find it.
Because also had like a thought, what if, I mean, the old gods, whenever the void using a flash to transfer an old god in the shape or form, no? What happens Well, is it possible that the old gods can both take the shape of a dragon? Oh, that would be like a...
Is it possible for an old god to take the shape of a dragon?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so, no. I think the problem for old gods is there's no evidence to suggest that they have the ability to turn into anything other than what they are. They're very chaotic. Their magic is chaotic. Their form is chaotic. So, and in order to turn into something that you are not, you would need to have some level of order. Because if you're going to turn into a dragon, for example, there has to be order there. Dragons are incredibly ordered creatures. You know, they have two wings, they have a tail. There's things there that you can look at and say, well, that's not really how the old god creatures or the old gods look. They're much more willy-nilly go wherever the fuck you need to go. But then again, that might be where creatures like Xalatath comes in. Why was Xalatath created? Why is Xalatath mortal? Or at least, why does Xalatath look like a mortal? You know, could it be that the old gods have already started to experiment with changing themselves into other things, or experiment with things that could look like other things? We wouldn't know. We know that Xalatath tells us that everything we know is a lie.
So Ashar was a human, well, sort of a human. Now, like a half-sided tentacles. And
True. No, there's a lot that we still have to... Yeah, why is Xalatath hot? Don't know. But, you know, I guess I know. The old gods had to have some eye candy. All the boys want to be with her, all the girls want to be her. Everyone follows. That's basically what it boils down to, you know? It's easy life. Or as Saban said there, she's crazy. And if you've ever looked at any girl, when a girl is stupidly hot, she's crazy. So it stands to reason that you could do the reverse. All the crazies are stupidly hot, you know? And that does make sense.